What is up, guys? This is episode 4 of the Funny Money Podcast. Um, it's Eric, Zach, Ryan, AJ, Cam, and Alex, and we are going to be discussing the ESPN's list for the top 25 players under the age of 25. This has been really controversial lately. I know Twitter has blown up over this. I feel like this happens every year. ESPN makes this list every year, if you didn't know, and every year there is probably at least 5 bad takes. So we're going to be reacting to it. This is going to be my first time looking at 25 through 1. I'm really excited, and I don't know about you guys, but I say let's begin. Go. All right, so here's our list. Coming in at number 25 is Colin Sexton of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Personally, I think this is quite low. It depends who else is on this list because there's a lot of guys that are under the age of 25, like D'Angelo Russell, and I'm pretty sure he's under 25, right? Or he is 25. A lot of those guys that you don't really expect to be that young. It feels like they've been in the league for a while. So Colin Sexton coming in at 25. He's having a really underrated season, in my opinion. 24 points, 4 assists on 50% shooting and 35% three. That is pretty incredible. And you could say all you want that his team is bad or whatever, but Devin Booker did the same thing under 25. So Devin Booker his team was not that good until maybe like halfway through last year. So I find this to be pretty interesting. So, AJ, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think this is too low because Sexton's having the best year of his career and he's very young, and I think he's being a great leader for this team in the future, even though this team is bad.
All right, Ryan. Ryan is forgetting.
My bad. All right. I think Sexton is too low. I think he shouldn't be in the 20s. He should be well above then. He's the best player in the Cavs. They're not a great team, but you can't ignore his stats. He's playing good basketball, and I'm sure he's better than like most of the people on this list.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This is not a good start, ESPN. This is a little bit worrying. So, moving on to number 24, we may have just gotten a sneak peek of 23, is Lonzo Ball of the Pelicans. This is already a warning sign. Lonzo Ball is not better than Colin Sexton. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you think that he makes people better, if he plays better defense, yada, yada, yada. Lonzo Ball is just not the prospect we thought he was going to be. And he's carving up a pretty decent career. But we all saw him come to the NBA thinking that, he's going to be a top 10 guard, top 5 guard. Those were the expectations. And he's having a pretty nice year, especially from the 3-point line. But I don't see him being better than Colin Sexton this year. I'm just sorry. So, Zach, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, with Lonzo Ball, he was a very he was like the first person in high school basketball that really had like a huge image. There had been like other high school players before him that were famous, but Lonzo Ball really like made high school basketball what it really is today, and what made whole team hoops, overtime, and all these other companies. It it sparked all those channels to happen. Lonzo, with Mike Korzeva's video with Steph Curry with a 40-inch vertical, we all thought he was going to be the next MVP. We thought he was going to be great. Lonzo Ball, though, he is carving. He's better than what he was first in the NBA. He's carving out a pretty good role. He's been great this season for Lonzo Ball standards. He's proving he can shoot the three ball, and he's proving that the Pelicans may want to re-sign him in the future. But over Sexton is a joke.
Cam, what are your thoughts on this?
I don't think that he should be higher than Colin Sexton, but he's definitely he was put into the league with like really, really high expectations, mainly brought on by like high school clips and his father having like a huge ego. But yeah, I don't think that he should be ahead of Colin Sexton, even though he's been having good seasons and a good start to his career. But Colin Sexton, I think, is the better player.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that. So coming in at number 23, Jared Allen of the Cleveland Cavaliers, formerly my Brooklyn Nets. There's hurts to say because, I've been rooting for Jared Allen ever since he was drafted by the Brooklyn Nets. He definitely, I think this is deserving. I think he's deserving of the spot, maybe even more. I don't know. He's on concussion protocol, I'm pretty sure right now, for the Cavs. But ever since he's moved to the Cavs, and even the beginning of this season, he's just shown that he is such a force to be reckoned with around that rim. He's a great shot blocker. He gets rebounds. He's just all you kind of need. And if you put him on a contender like the Brooklyn Nets were, he'll succeed so much. He'll get so many rebounds. He makes teams better. And unlike, I think, the previous two guys, I think he can have like some of the most impact on a team's success. And Jared Allen's going to get a big contract this year, I hope. So I like seeing Jared Allen at 23. I have no complaints right here. Alex, what are your thoughts on Jared Allen at 23?
I personally think that he's like pretty low because like he's been doing really good, although he's been on like one of the worst teams with Colin Sexton. But I think they both deserve like a higher rank in this one at least.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know why Alex isn't showing up on the there. Sorry.
I'm right here.
Yeah, Alex wasn't showing up, so I apologize for that for people watching. So coming in at number 22, John Collins. This is surprising. John Collins, no, he is much better than 22 for his position or for his under 25. He's a lock for 20 and 10 a game in my opinion. And this year it's been kind of up and down. He's gotten hurt. The contract situation is not too pretty right there. He kind of wants out. So seeing him at 22 is kind of surprising. And is he really the 22nd best player? Under 25. I don't see it. Alex, we'll go back to you because we weren't able to see you talk last time.
Can you see me?
Yeah, now we can see you.
All right. John Collins had a pretty respectable season so far, although he just got injured. But him on the Hawks is a very good fit with Trey Young and like all the other good players because he's a very good dunker. He puts up very good points and rebounds. He's a good defensive player too. But like, I think he's good at 22.
Okay. So now at 21 is Tyrus Halliburton. That is, if we're talking about right now, that's kind of ridiculous, but I could totally see in the future because Tyrus Halliburton has the makings to be, I think, an elite guard in this NBA. But this has to be about projections, like for the future, because Halliburton's not even the best rookie right now. So I like Halliburton. If we're talking about future, I like him right here. I think he's going to be, a top 10 point guard. He'll make a few All-Star games, kind of be like, I don't know. He's a very interesting player. His jump shot's not great, but it works. He kind of hustles. He does a little bit of everything. So I like him at 21. Zach, what are your thoughts?
I mean, if you know me, you know that I love Tyrese Halliburton. I mean, I think he should win Rookie of the Year. But Tyrese at 21, I mean, it's a bit giddy on ESPN's part. I mean, right now, I don't even think he's in the top 25. He's a really good point guard. I mean, personally, I felt like he was better than Killian Hayes, and I thought it was disrespectful for him to be taken at 13. I mean, he came in the NBA. He came in the NBA ready from college, and when people said that his jump shot wouldn't work, it found a way. As he's shooting 42% from three, which is great for a rookie. And I expect for him and Darren Fox to have some big things coming up soon.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Ryan. Or no, I know. Sorry, Ryan. We'll do the next one. I know AJ's a huge Tyrese fan, so we have AJ. AJ, what were you doing? AJ's on mute. AJ, unmute yourself.
Is it paused?
What were you doing?
I was getting my food. I said in the chat.
All right. Oh, all right. Well, what are your thoughts on Tyrese at 21?
At 21, well, so he's having a great season. He was probably the steal of the draft, and I don't know if I'll put him over John Collins, but he's been having a great rookie year, so I don't really mind it.
All right. Next on the list, Deandre Ayton. I don't like this. I don't think DeAndre Ayton's better than John Collins. And you could argue John Collins may have hit his peak. I don't think he has. I think he could honestly be like a 23, 24 per game scorer and get you at least 10 rebounds. DeAndre Ayton at 20 seems pretty high. And considering Chris Paul is in the team and he's gotten even worse, and Chris Paul is a player that makes people better, it's a little bit concerning. He's a little weak around the basket, around the post. He's kind of soft. I will admit he's gotten better with that. But I don't like him at 20. I can't lie. I think DeAndre Ayton has potential to be good, but this season's kind of, a little disheartening, especially for like those Deandre Ayton fans who thought that he really was deserving of that first pick. So Ryan, what is your thought on this?
I think he's a little too high. And like you were saying, well, he had such high expectations going into the season, and he's not really performing up to them right now. And like you said, I don't think he's comparable to John Collins at the moment. He has a lot of potential for the future, especially on a team with Chris Paul. But right now, I just don't think he's up here. And this is a current list, like you were saying about Tyrese, like future. I could see him above, but he's just not better than John Collins. He's a little too high.
Yeah, I completely agree. Go. All right, next on our list, Anthony Edwards. I'm gonna let Alex talk about this one.
Honestly, he's been doing really good. Although he's a rookie, I think this is like a really good ranking for him because like he's been doing really good recently with the Timberwolves, and like how D'Lo is back, he's still doing pretty good right now.
Cam.
Yeah, I agree with Alex. Like Anthony Edwards, I don't know. I feel like it's a little too early to put him this high, but I also think that like he's right where he should be because he's been having a very good season. He really got to shine when Beasley was suspended for 12 games, I think it was. That's when I think he really started to break out, and since then he's been very good. So I think this suits him pretty well.
All right, so I think this kind of like cements ESPN. You know, this is about like the future of these guys, not how they're doing right now. So, do we really think Anthony Edwards is going to be better than maybe Halliburton, John Collins? You could argue like some of these players have hit their peak or near their peak. I just don't see Edwards being better than them in the future. I don't see it. I think he's going to be a very solid point guard in the league, or guard in the league, I should say. I don't see him. I just don't see him being better than these guys in the future. Zach, you seem to be disagreeing with this. Explain why.
Anthony Edwards is the type of guy where when he finds that click, he'll be a beast in the NBA. I mean, he's on struggling Timberwolves teams. He's been putting up great numbers, but I feel like most of them are empty. Anthony Edwards is a talented dude. I mean, he's athletically gifted. The only thing that if he gets better has to be his efficiency. I mean, his efficiency isn't that well. So if he gets good efficiency, he will be a beast, and I can see him being a great sixth man for the Minnesota Timberwolves in the near future.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem. You see him being a sixth man.
I feel like he has more potential though than Halliburton. I mean,
hold on. But you see him being a sixth man.
Halliburton's close to his ceiling though. I mean,
no, it's his rookie year. How is he close to his ceiling?
I feel like he's not gonna be as much better as Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards has more room for improvement than Halliburton.
You say that, but he's gonna be a sixth man on a horrible Timberwolves team. That makes no sense.
The Timberwolves, they'll be good in the future.
We've been saying this for years now. That is a horribly ran franchise, and I don't see him doing anything in the future. Zach, if you think a sixth man is going to end up being better than Ayton, John Collins,
I feel like
Tyrese Halliburton, you're just wrong.
Edwards will.
I don't think he will.
Once Edwards clicks and finds his rhythm with his efficiency, he will be a beast.
That's the thing. They have to click. All these guys have to click. You know, DeAndre Ayton has to click. DeAndre Ayton's been waiting to click. Some guys it doesn't happen. You know, Anthony Edwards has shown flashes of being very good, but I just don't see his peak being higher than that of John Collins or John Collins. John Collins is a top 10 power forward in the league. I would argue top 7 or even top 5.
I know, but this is the future, though. Anthony Edwards, I feel like.
Do you see Anthony Edwards being top 5 guard in the league?
Not top 5. The guards. Have you seen the rookie guard? There are a lot of good guards.
A top 10 guard. It's not gonna. Zach,
he could be a top 10 guard. He could be a top 10 guard.
All right, moving on. Demontis Safonis. That is criminal. Ryan is a big Sabonis guy. So Ryan, what are your thoughts on Sabonis at 18?
This is dumb. This is just so low for him. He's literally an all-star this season. He's playing the best he's been. He's better than, I'd say he's like top 10 at least. The ESPN can get away with maybe top 10. But this is just stupid. I don't understand how you can have him so low. He's proven to be the most valuable player on the Pacers right now. A solid team with many great like starters, just Brogdon, Miles Turner, and he's putting up insane numbers. Even if they're not winning as much, like he's still a great player. Makes the All-Star game. Like he's just having a great season right now. I feel like this is unbelievably unfair that they have him this low.
Sean, you are a new addition. You have been added. So, Sean, what are your thoughts on this? I think this is kind of ridiculous.
I think this is pretty criminal ranking as well. He's one of the better power forward centers in the league right now, so I think he shouldn't be this low. He's had like 2 All-Star appearances now, I think. So I think putting him at 18 is just not right.
The only reason I could see ESPN kind of justifying this is that he's already hit his peak compared to these other guys. But you're telling me there's 17 guys that will end up being better than Demontis Safonis. I don't see it. He's been dominant this year. He's kind of slowed down recently, but this is just, I don't know. I don't see 17 more guys under the age of 25 that will be better than Demontis Safonis, who for years to come, I think will be an all-star in the league. So I think that's another bad take by ESPN. Macau Bridges. So you're telling me Macau Bridges is better than Demontis Sabonis, or even his peak. And this is no excuse because Macau Bridges is 24.5 years old, and Sabonis is only 5 months older. So I just don't understand this. Zach, what are your thoughts?
First off, I feel like Sabonis should be higher than Macau, but Macau at 17 is great. Macau has potential. Macau is a great defender. He's a great two-way player. I can see him being a top 10 two-way player with his potential that he has. I mean, he's been thriving on this Pacers team with Chris Paul, but Sabonis should be higher than him. Sabonis is just better. Sabonis is a beast. Sabonis is versatile on offense. I mean, it's just criminal. But Macau at 17 is very agreeable, and I feel like that's the first thing that they got right. The ESPN with putting him at 17.
Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of, I just can't go over the Sabonis situation. So we'll move on. Trey Young. Wow. This is where it loses all legitimacy for this list. I've lost. I can't even. Alex, what are your thoughts on this?
He is way too low. Like, I don't really like seeing him play. Like, I just don't like his like play style at all. But he's still an all-star type player. He's still good as hell. And like him at 16, like below like some players that like are gonna be in top 10. I think he should be at least like top 15, maybe top 10, maybe.
AJ.
I think Trey Young being this low is absolutely criminal. Like he may have play style that allows him to like get points like with him getting to the free throw line, but this dude averaged 27 points per game last year, and he's becoming a top passer in the league. He gets like over 10 assists like almost every game. This is absurd.
Yeah, I completely agree. So for context, last year Trey Young was at 8 on this list. So I don't get ESPN's logic with this. Trey Young, he may have taken a step back offensively. He may be annoying to watch. But so is Luka, and I guarantee you Luka's going to be top 5. Luka does the same thing with that foul baiting. Does Trey Young do it worse? Of course. But I just find this ridiculous. He's taken a step back because the Hawks have improved as a team. He has more scorers on that team now. With the additions of Gallo, with the addition, with John Collins improving, they've improved like a lot. And DeAndre Hunter, when he was playing, DeAndre Hunter was beasting. So there's a reason why Trey Young's offensive stats may have dipped. Is he annoying to watch? Of course, but that's just this is pure bias. Trey Young is a top 7, top 5 guard. I'll say it. No, top 10. He's top 10. He's a top 10 guard in the league, and putting him at 16 for the under 25 is kind of ridiculous. I think he can get better than this, honestly. So we'll move on. Ja Morant. Alex is the biggest Ja Morant fan I know. Alex, what are your thoughts on him being ahead of Trey Young?
Low key, I'll be honest, that's just criminal. That should not be it. And low key, he should be at 15. Although he's been in a slump right now, he's still at 21 and he still has like a lot of years to go. And he's just really good.
Ryan.
I do think John Morant deserves like a higher spot on this list, but yet again, over Trey Young and Sabonis, I think that's just absolutely ridiculous, especially with Ja having a pretty bad season this year.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think John Morant I think John Morant, if we're talking potential, this doesn't make me as mad as some of the others because I do think John Morant has potential to be better than Trey Young. He's definitely taken a step back this season. I don't know. I'm not as mad. It looks bad on paper, especially how both of them are playing this season comparing to each other. But Sean, but it doesn't make me as mad, but I sort of get ESPN's logic with this if we're talking about projections for the future. So 14, Michael Porter Jr. That is a surprise considering 25. He's only played like these past 20 games. He's been really, really good, but is 20 games enough, especially with his injury history, to really say that he's going to be a certified stud in this league? Zach, you seem to be nodding your head. Zach, what do you think?
Michael Porter Jr. I mean, he came out of high school. He was the high ranked recruit. He was one of the best players out of high school. But then as he went with Missouri, he started getting some back problems and some injury problems, leading him to be the steal of the draft taken by the Nuggets. I think this is a great pickup for the Nuggets. I mean, I don't see him being like an MVP here at all, but I feel like he will be a solid piece to the Nuggets, and hopefully the Nuggets they make some deep playoff runs, and Michael Porter Jr. will be a part of that, and he'll contribute. At 14, I feel like is a little too generous, but Michael Porter Jr. will be a good player, and I think you should watch out for him in the future.
All right, yeah, I'm not mad at this at all. So next is his teammate Jamal Murray, number 13. Cam, what do you think about Jamal Murray at 13? I'm not too mad about it, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I'm not very upset with Jamal Murray at 13. I definitely think that he should be higher than Michael Porter Jr. because he's, especially in the bubble, he's shown like what he can do, and like his ceiling is insanely high at this point. But like even after the bubble, even this season, he's had some like rough patches, but he's been playing good recently, so I think he's deserved this 13 spot.
Yeah, Murray definitely had a rough start to the year, but he's starting to look like the Murray that we've been expecting to see for a while. He's improved on most cylinders of his game. Obviously, he can't put up those, those bubble stats that he did this summer, but I'm not mad with Jamal Murray at 13. Personally, I would like Trey Young. I think Trey Young is honestly better than Jamal Murray. Actually, no. Offensively, I think Trey Young is better than Jamal Murray, but defensively, Jamal Murray definitely has that edge. So I wouldn't be. I'm not mad with this at all. I think Jamal Murray at 13 is a pretty good spot for him. So we'll move on. Number 12, Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics. This is surprisingly low in my opinion. Sean, what are your thoughts on Jaylen Brown at number 12?
I think Jaylen Brown should be a little bit higher. He's been having a really amazing season this year, and he's been one of the better players on the Celtics, so I think he should be maybe at like 10.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think you could argue he's doing more for the Celtics than Jason Tatum. While I would disagree with that take, Jaylen Brown at 12, come on, he was an all-star. He was an all-star. I definitely think he can improve. He has improved every year he's been in the league. What makes you think that this year this is his max out? This is the top of his prime. So this is not his peak. I think Jaylen Brown should be at least top 5 in this list, maybe top 6. I don't agree with this placement. I think this is way too low for him. Jaylen Brown is an absolute stud. So 11 is Brandon Ingram. Sean is a big Brandon Ingram fan, but we'll go to Cam on this one.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if he should be above Jaylen Brown right now. I mean, he's good, but Jaylen Brown's shown himself to be an all-star. He's been a very solid player. Brandon Ingram, I don't know. I feel like he should be a little bit lower, but not too much. Like maybe even just like swap spots with Jaylen Brown, but I don't know. I don't feel like he should be this high.
Yeah. Brandon Ingram, he hasn't had that improvement that we've seen. Obviously, Zion's gotten so much better, and he's not that main guy really on that Pelicans team anymore. but his defense this year is just atrocious. He used to be a pretty good defender. Like, when he when he was with the Lakers, he was known as, he wasn't a liability. But that man just does not play any defense at all. So Brandon Ingram at 11, I'm not sure if I like it because I think he's already hit his peak in his NBA. Unless he goes to a new team. If he's on a winning team, I don't see him, improving much statistically. He's got to be better defensively, and I think if you put him on like a scrub team, like the Rockets, he would be, he might improve statistically, but his efficiency would go down. So I don't know. I don't like him at 11. I think he should be a little lower. Next is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, AJ. AJ might be his biggest fan in the world, to be quite honest. AJ is obsessed with this man. AJ, this is wow. AJ, what are your thoughts on this?
Shai is having the best year of his career. He's a great leader for the Thunder, and he's a great passer. He's very efficient, and I think when the Thunder make their moves to become a championship team, he's gonna be the leader, the one option, and he's a future superstar. He already is a superstar, but he'll get better.
AJ, what are your thoughts on Sam Presti? Like with wanting to draft these 8th graders for the future.
All right. Well, I think after the Thunder finesse the Clippers, I think that they're starting to like what's it called? They're getting too pick hungry. Like I do see him trading some picks, and I think that they have like the best chance when a superstar wants out, to offer the picks. But I think it's getting too excessive at this point.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Shai would worry me only because I think they have to extend him pretty soon. He might leave in free agency because the Thunder, while they do have a super bright future, they somehow manage to win games. And I don't know. It kind of worries me that he might not want to be. He might want to be on a contender. So, 10 isn't bad for him. I think he's a very good guard in this league. And Lewis has entered the waiting room, guys. All right. 9 is Bam Adebayo. Alex is a big Bam guy. So, Alex, what are your thoughts on Bam Adebayo at 9?
This is a very good ranking for him, although maybe just a little bit higher because he's literally an all-star. He's like an insane player on the Heat. I think he deserves this spot because, like, with Jimmy Butler and, like, Oladipo, although he just got injured as well, I think there's going to be a great team overall.
Yeah, I think he's definitely – this might be a little low for him. I think we're at the point to where all these guys are all-stars. Bam I think he has arguably one of the brightest futures on this list. He's a great rim protector. He's a great defender. He could shoot a little. He could drive. He has everything you want. And the Miami Heat are blessed to have a man like him on their team. He also could pass out. He could pass pretty well too. So Bam at 9, I'm not mad unless I see who's above him. And guys, Lewis is asking to be let into the meet. I am not going to let Lewis in.
Let him in. Let him have a bad take.
Let him
Let
in.
him in. Let him in.
Do we let him in?
Yes.
Let the
Yes.
kid speak. Let him
Let him
speak.
in.
I don't know how to from here. So
If Tatum's still here, let him talk for Tatum.
We'll admit him. All right,
Yeah, let him in. Let him in to talk for Tatum.
All right. How do I move this? This thing is just in the middle of the screen. Oh, there. Wait, what? I gotta pause. Hold on, guys. I'm having a little bit of difficulty. Can you guys see that on the screen?
No.
Oh, you can't? Oh.
No, you're just putting your cursor on some random thing.
Okay. My screen. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I thought I had a problem with my screen. So next we have Devin Booker of the Phoenix Suns at number 8. I don't like this for him. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on this? Cam?
Personally, I think that this is actually pretty good for him. I mean, he has arguably to me one of the brightest futures that we've seen so far. He's shown himself time and time again that he can be a big point scorer and that he can win games for his team when they need it the most. he even in the bubble last year, which I know can be a bit unreliable, but like he almost carried the Suns to the playoffs, like barely missing out. And I feel like he's one of the main reasons, if not the main reason, that the Suns are doing so well right now.
What, they win 9 straight or something like that? They were 9-0, something like 12-0. That was ridiculous. The bubble was a weird time in the league. Devin Booker at 8. I'm not mad about it, but it's not horrible. It's not the worst we've seen. Now Ben Simmons at 7. Ryan said he wanted to talk about Ben Simmons if he was on this list. Sure enough, he's at 7. So Ryan, what are your thoughts on him?
Okay, I'm gonna be real. I don't know why Ben Simmons is even on this list. He just has no future. He's just a terrible player. I'm sorry. He's not in it to win. He doesn't want to win game. You see his stats before the All-Star game and then after. As soon as he's marked an All-Star, he stops trying. He's just a fraudulent player. He has no future in the league. He's got worse from his rookie season. He's a fake rookie. He's a fraud on a good team that gets carried. He plays against players that are 5 feet shorter than him. And he's fake defensive stats that are all meaningless. So I don't understand how he's in any contention. I don't understand where all the hype is. He's just not a good player. He's not a winner. I don't like him at all.
I find it funny that he has kind of peaked in his rookie year. He's actually had a pretty good year this year for his standards. He's averaging like 15 a game. It's probably like 15, 7, and 8 or something like that. 15, 8, and 7. He has a little bit of everything. I'm not that harsh on Ben Simmons. As much as I dislike him, Ryan absolutely despises him because of him and Donovan Mitchell's beef.
I think Ayton.
Lewis was that Lewis or AJ? Who was that? All right, that was Lewis then. Sorry about that. Lewis is in the meat. I don't know what he's doing. He's kind of fiending, but Ben Simmons at 7. Controversial. I would not say he's better than Devin Booker, especially because I feel like he has hit his peak. I don't think he's better than Devin Booker. Bam. He's better than Shea. But yeah, come on. Ben Simmons at 7. I don't know.
You didn't say that.
I think you don't think Ben Simmons is. I think Ben Simmons is better than Shea.
No, Shai's better.
Lewis with the entrance. Lewis is in his living room, guys. Lewis, why? You don't think Simmons is better?
Nah, Simmons is trash. He got blocked by Marcus Smart.
Okay, Lewis. You have to bring the Celtics into everything, Lewis.
He gets blocked by other point guards too.
Yeah, I don't know. So moving on, De'Aaron Fox at 6. AJ loves De'Aaron Fox, so AJ, why don't you talk about De'Aaron Fox, number 6?
Well, he could be top 5. I don't know who's above him, but I know there's one player that should not be there at all. So I would put him top 5 because he's such a great scorer. He's very fast. He can defend kind of well. He gets some steals, and he's the future of the league. I think he should be top 5.
Yeah, I like him at 6. I think this is a little generous, to be quite honest. I'd rather Devin Booker or Bam Adebayo. But De'Aaron Fox is beasting this year. He's having a super underrated season. He's having like 25, 24 points a game. Like, 24 and 7. He's completely underrated this year. So De'Aaron Fox at 6. I'm happy ESPN is giving him some credit, especially because he's not a mainstream type of guy because he plays all the way in Sacramento. So I like him at 6. I think this is very generous, but I also like De'Aaron Fox as a player. So Jason Tatum at 5. Lewis is a big Jason Tatum fan, so let's give it to Lewis. Lewis, what are your thoughts on Jason Tatum at 5? There are 4 better players than him.
Can you show me who's at 4?
I can't show you who's at 4 yet.
Well, Jason Tatum, he deserves to be higher. I'm pretty sure they have LaMelo at 3 on this list, which
spoiler alert.
I don't know for sure, but if Jason Tatum's at 5, that's too low. He's not better than Zion or Luka, but he's, in my opinion, better than Donovan Mitchell.
Oh yeah, where is Donovan? Donovan Mitchell's probably at 4, honestly.
Probably is.
Jason Tatum.
No, he's probably like over 25. I think he actually is.
No, Donovan Mitchell's not over 25.
No, he's on the list.
All right, Jason Tatum. I'm not. He's kind of, he's kind of stagnated from last year.
I know the team's losing, but like you can't really blame that on him.
Yeah. I don't know. Moving on to number 4 is Donovan Mitchell, Ryan's boy from the Utah Jazz. I think it's only right to give it to Ryan.
I think he absolutely deserves a spot. And I know I should be talking a lot about him, but I'm going to save my energy for the player that ESPN decided to put above him. So,
Cam, how do you like Donovan Mitchell at 4?
I think he's very good at 4. I mean, he is a really high ceiling. Not even a Jazz fan, but like you could see that he's shooting 40% overall. I can't see how many attempts it has per game, but like he's a pretty efficient scorer. He's great at driving. I mean, I think that he's going to be a easily top 10, if not like top 7 or 6 point guard in the league, or shooting guard, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, I like Donovan Mitchell at 4. I still don't think he's better than Booker or Bam. That's up for debate. Him and Booker are pretty similar. I think I'd rather Booker on my team, to be quite honest, but I'd rather Bam, definitely. Donovan Mitchell at 4 doesn't make me mad. He's having a great year. He honestly could be in talks for MVP. I do think Utah is pretenders, but that's for another podcast. So Donovan Mitchell at 4. I think we could all agree it's not a horrible ranking. But number 3 is LaMelo Ball, the Charlotte Hornets. Let ESPN back at it again, guys.
This is unbelievable by ESPN.
Let
This
ESPN
is terrible.
Let ESPN.
This is
ESPN sucking off LaMelo.
I'm tired of LaMelo getting sucked off.
He's supposed to be there.
I don't care how good he is.
I swear that overtime took over ESPN.
All right.
But was this list made after he was hurt?
He's ugly.
No, this is yes, it was.
Then
Zach, wait. Zach is a Hornets fan, and Zach was not a fan of LaMelo when they drafted him. So, Zach, what are your thoughts on this?
When they first drafted LaMelo, I mean, I thought he was just gonna be a dude that would just run around, chuck up shots. I mean, at the beginning of the year, that's what he looked like, and the summer league. But he's been better. I mean, number 3 is like absolutely absurd. I see the potential in LaMelo. He's part of the new wave of tall point guards like Cade Cunningham and his fellow draftee Tyrese Halliburton. But number 3 is absurd. I mean, Donovan Mitchell, he's better right now. I mean, it's also too early to tell with LaMelo. He does have the potential, but I mean, we just need to see. Number 3 is come on. He shouldn't be number 3 right now. I mean, like 10, maybe like around there, like 10 to 15. But LaMelo at 3 is just absurd. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what ESPN is talking about over here, but calling him a late bloomer. That definitely means that they think he has more in store. I think he's going to be a beast in the NBA. I think we could all agree on that. But will he be better than Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Fox, Simmons?
If everything goes right, if everything goes right, he could. But this is why it's so hard to rank people's future, because something could just happen, like an injury, they could stagnate and then just go all the way down. I mean, I see the potential in him, but going from right now, I do feel like Donovan Mitchell and Tatum have the upper hand over him.
If Simmons wasn't as good of a defender he is, you could argue LaMelo Ball is having a better season than him, which is remarkable because a lot of people, including me, thought LaMelo
Here he is.
Well, Ryan, of course, thinks that
defense is kind of worthless because he's not that great.
LaMelo he's a decent defender. You know, people thought that would be an issue for him. He's actually not that horrible. LaMelo Ball at 3. This is the most controversial part of the list by far. And I think if you have any idea about NBA basketball, you should know who the next 2 are. Yeah. So let's see number 2. No surprise. It's going to be Zion Williamson, the New Orleans Pelicans.
I can argue he could be number 1.
He could be number 1. That is really interesting. Lewis.
He's shooting 67% from the field, which is insane. No one has ever really shot 67% from the field.
He's a power forward. He gets all his points in the basket. That's like, what?
He's still dominant. He still has to score on these guys that are because he's
loose. A lot of his points come from the paint. So like his stats are, the dude is a beast though.
I don't think the Mavericks are doing good either. The Mavericks are doing all right, but both teams aren't doing exceptionally good.
Actually, the person above him has one of the hottest teams in the league right now. So
I know
Zion at 2. I don't think any of us have a problem with this. I like Zion at 2. Zion is a monster. I think we could all agree on that. Yeah, last year, it's crazy how there was actually debates if John Moran was better than him. So Zion's come a long way. He's averaging 26 a game on ridiculous efficiency, as Lewis was saying. He's a superstar. He's already a superstar in the league. He was a superstar as soon as he was drafted, and he has lived up to the hype completely. So Zion at 2, I like it a lot. And number 1, Dallas Mavericks guard, Luka Doncic. This is no surprise.
Closest person away.
I didn't like that intro.
Lewis, what did you say?
He's right now the closest player will get to Larry Bird. Luka.
You think so?
He does everything Larry does. He's a great passer. He plays good defense for what he is. He's a great shooter. He shoots pretty well. Do
you think Luka has potential to be better than Larry Bird in the future? Because with these stats right now, it's
definitely
damn good.
He's only 22, and he's already putting up these numbers.
Lewis, you're talking like ESPN right now. Like you're calling shots early. Like he's only been in the league a couple of years. Like
and he's
already so good that I honestly he kind of reminds you of Larry Bird. He's unathletic, unassuming, and he's a white, slow guard or forward.
I agree that he's been doing really well, but like to be compared to Larry Bird, like in his career in general, like Larry Bird had a pretty lengthy career. I think that Luka should definitely like he has to keep doing what he's doing to be even compared to somebody like him.
Yeah, I completely agree. But he is definitely on pace to be incredible for the future. He's shooting 48% or almost 49% from the field, so almost 50%, and he's almost shooting 40% from 3. Something that was it Stephen A. Smith or Skip Bayless was really hard on him for his 3-point percentage. But Luka, night in, night out, he'll perform. He'll be a beast for you. So I'm not mad at Luka at 1. I don't think anyone should be. I think this was no surprise. But this list in general, what are you guys' thoughts on this list? Zach.
ESPN. I mean, the one thing you have to understand about ESPN is that like they'll put players that they like high up on here. I mean, they're obviously power tripping and they have their favorites, as you can see. But overall, it is better than their lists like previously. Like some of their lists from like a few years ago were absolutely horrific. But I feel like this one, I mean, there were some that are like inexcusably bad, but others that are somewhat agreeable. Overall, it was for ESPN standards, it was okay, but overall, meh.
Alex, do you think this list will age well?
Definitely not. Actually, yeah, kind of. You guys,
that is a big flip flop.
Yeah, my fault. I wasn't listening, but yeah, most of the rookies in here are like, I'm kind of about them right now, but like we'll see what happens in the future.
Ryan raising his hand.
Well, I feel like ESPN's at the point where this is just a clout tier list. Like the fact that LaMelo's so high, it's the fact that Ben Simmons is even on this list just shows that ESPN doesn't know what they're doing. I feel like this is just bad.
Yeah, I think this was definitely, ESPN. Let's be real, ESPN doesn't do this for, they don't do it for like facts or anything. They're doing this to see how many clicks I can get, how much attention I can get, how many people could talk about this, and it works every single year. Every single year we're talking about this list. We're doing exactly what ESPN wants, spreading awareness of this horrible list. I think that'll wrap it up for this podcast. I think this was a very good podcast. What do you guys think? Anyone got any words or final says?
No.
None at all. All right. Thank you for tuning in to episode 4 of the Funny Money Podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe in this video. And make sure you check us out on Spotify, the Funny Money Podcast. You might have to, if you search up our name, the Funny Money Podcast, you might have to kind of like scroll down because we're not super popular yet. Hopefully we will be there one day. But yeah, this was a fun episode. It's good to talk about this list, and it's great talking to you guys. So thank you for tuning in, and peace out.
Nice podcast.
Sean.